Friedman's analysis of dysfunctional communities clearly also applies to dynamics more typical of male-dominated groups. Consequently, if we allow the gendered weighting of the term empathy to direct our attention too much, we can miss much of the application of his work. Indeed, in some respects, we may even become more susceptible to some of the problems he identifies. Friedman explores the way in which dysfunctional communities can come to order themselves around their most disruptive, demanding, immature and unself-regulated members, as leaders lack the nerve, will, character, support or capacity effectively to stand up to them. In such situations, the expectation can be that the family, group or society bend over backwards to appease, accommodate, avoid offending or coddle the dysfunctional member or members. It is easier to expect everyone to change around the disruptive persons than to confront those persons and provoke their displeasure. In many places and institutions within our society, as well as in many churches and Christian organizations, this dysfunctional herding dynamic is typically encountered in more feminine modes. However, it can be no less operative in more masculine-coded forms and contexts. While feminine groups may be more susceptible to such herding dynamics that depend upon appeals to empathy, there are several other ways that they can operate. It can, for instance, take the form of appeasement strategies designed to avoid confrontation, insistence upon unity in response to bad behavior being challenged, pressure upon and blaming of those who expose or challenge it, and lots of effort being expended to justify, minimize, or excuse it. Rather than appealing to empathy, the disruptive person might get their way through intimidation and violence, through creating a scene or throwing a tantrum, by making life deeply unpleasant and tense for everyone around them when opposed, through constant taking of umbrage and offence, through spreading complaints and bitterness, through spreading distrust and accusations about leaders, or through exciting division and conflict in the ranks in other ways. Faced with such people in a society, organization, church or family, the easiest course will often seem to be that of giving them their way, making excuses for them, and resisting anyone who would unsettle the situation by standing up to the disruptors. Anyone who challenges the most immature and dysfunctional group members can be characterized as divisive. It is easier to silence such voices than to put the dysfunctional and immature parties in their place, which could easily result in elevated internal conflict. The tensions created by such a situation will typically be displaced onto others. There will be those who constantly must try to defuse tensions through humour. Others will make sophisticated excuses and rationalizations for the disruptors. Others may attack any who challenged the disruptors and shift the blame for any unpleasantness caused by the disruptors onto them. Many will be walking on eggshells around the disruptive figures or flattering them in various ways. So much of this results from conflict-avoidant desire for in-group unity, often accompanied by raised external conflict to channel internal tensions, association of apology with weakness, an urge to appease and cover for dysfunctional and restive group members and elements. Groups that adopt such an approach often have genuinely mature and gifted people within them, yet their incapacity to exercise decisive self-regulation and policing means that they will constantly be waylaid by their loud and immature elements.